Let's bring in now former acting ICE Director Jonathan Fahey. Thank you so much for talking to us, and happy Thanksgiving. The good news is that these National Guard members are alive, because early reports had said that they were both killed. But the saddest news today is that how in the world did this happen? Because it could have been prevented, and the former administration essentially opened a welcome mat for this shooter.
You're exactly right. They opened a welcome mat for these Afghan refugees, or whatever you want to call them. And they claimed at the time that they were vetting people and vetting them thoroughly. But that really, seems impossible, because do you know the total number of people that were brought in after the Afghan disaster was 190,000 Afghans. So this idea that they were vetting these people with any seriousness is laughable. And the fact that they were also ushering in millions of people across the southern border that they weren't vetting either, leaving us all vulnerable. And you know what really should be the most important thing is, when you're bringing someone in, if you can't vet them and can't verify that they're safe, they don't come in. And that should be the default, and that's the default under President Trump. But it really is sad whenever you see one of these situations. Not only the first thing you want to hope that these people, these Guard members, pull through, but when you look at these things and say, hey, this could have been prevented. I don't know if it could have been prevented through vetting, but it certainly could have been prevented by not letting this person in to begin with.
Okay, I just have to play Biden's Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas when he was asked about the vetting process. Now, our intelligence says that this guy was vetted, okay? But Mayorkas essentially said that not 100% of the 120,000 evacuees from Afghanistan were vetted. So how in the world would they have known whether this guy was in the country or not if he wasn't even properly vetted? Let's play Mayorkas, and I'll have you react.
We are not conducting in-person full refugee interviews of 100% of the individuals.
What percentage are you conducting?
I don't have that information.
Wait. What number of the more than 60,000 brought to the country, what number have received an in-person interview before they came to the country?
When you're speaking of a full refugee-like interview, I don't have that data.
60,000 evacuees, refugees brought into this country. 120,000 total were released out of Afghanistan after that disastrous withdrawal that was ordered by Biden. How in the world do you not actually properly vet these people? And how is it that Mayorkas himself didn't even have the numbers?
Yeah, well, that's really, I want to say he's a joke, but it's so unconscionable what they did, because they didn't vet these people and they didn't care, much like they did with the southern border. Their political interests, meaning their open border political interests, always trump public safety, always trump national security. And these Guard members are paying the price, and so many other Americans are paying the price. But that number is actually higher. I think it's 190,000. There were more after this. But the saddest thing is they didn't even try. And just think about the idea that you could even possibly vet people in a meaningful way is really, I just can't see how that's even possible. But the fact they didn't even make minimal efforts and in-person interviews shows what their true motivations were, and shows how little they were concerned about our safety.
Yeah, and let's just remind people, in 2021, not only was it a disastrous pullout out of Afghanistan, the Taliban ended up taking control, which was a disaster in and of itself, without leaving troops there to actually keep control of the country, assuming that Afghanistan was going to do that on their own. And that is why the refugees then were brought into the United States and not even vetted. This was all under the Biden administration. And Jen Psaki at the time had said that everything was safe and everybody had been vetted, which obviously was a lie, but it's not the first lie that was told by the former administration, certainly probably won't be the last we discover. Thank you very much, though, for talking to us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.